up everyone? Today I'm gonna go over how to get a motorcycle license if you're coming to California from outer state, just like how I did. So in California, I just said California. So in Cali, right, there are 3 different types of motorcycle licenses. You have the M1 license, M2, and then a Class C motorcycle license. So the Class C is the trikes or anything with 3-wheel, a tricycle, and then mopeds, scooters, stuff like that. And then your M2 are your scooters, mopeds, and I think like anything below 149 or anything 149cc and below fall under M2, except for the tricycles. And then you have the M1, which are the bigger cc bikes, and also covers everything under the M2. So like for street bikes, sports bikes, super sports bikes, those are all covered by the M1. By the M1 motorcycle. My wife is videoing me right now. So yeah, so the process that I took, that they had me do when I came to California and I decided to buy a motorcycle and apply for a California motorcycle license for the M1. As an out-of-state applicant, I had to reapply basically for a whole new license for California, because whatever license you have, whatever state you came from, you cannot add your M1 license there. So they have to issue you a California driver's license. You don't have to turn in your old license, because they didn't ask me to turn it in, so I kept it. So I still have it, my Hawaii license, I still have that, but that's without the motorcycle license on it. And so I had to take the driver's written test for the motorcycle. I had to take the driver's written test for the regular car, automotive. And then I had to take the skills test, which is the road test for the motorcycle. I didn't have to do a road test for the car. I just had to take the written test. So I had to do that. Was MSF course required, or I think they now call it California Motorcycle Safety Training Program? I took it, but it wasn't mandatory or required to get a license unless you're 20 years old and below trying to get a motorcycle license. That'd be the only time that the California Motorcycle Safety Training course is required, because you have to have an endorsement from them. You gotta get endorsed from them for you to be able to skip the drive test, the actual hands-on portion motorcycle test that they have in the back of their DMV. So that's basically the process. So if you're, I think, 15 3/4 years old to 20, you have to do the MSF, or now called the Motorcycle Safety Training Program, here in California. And for registration, right, for the registration portion, you have to have a insurance already. Well, not necessarily already, but when you register your vehicle, they'll register it for you without proof of insurance on the spot. But at a certain amount of time, you know, that you don't have an insurance, the DMV actually detects if you have an insurance that covers your motorcycle or not. They have a system to check that. The reason why I'm saying this is because when I registered my motorcycle the first time with my Grom, it was fine. I was able to register everything, but then a week and a half later I got an email, or not an email, I got a mail from the DMV saying that they could not find any records of insurance affiliated or related to my motorcycle. So if I don't get a insurance within a certain amount of time that they gave me a deadline, I would I would get my registration revoked, or they would revoke my registration for my motorcycle. And some of the insurances, I don't know, I kind of forgot the explanation, but when I applied for insurance, there's like a 14-day window before it can take into effect. And also some of the insurance companies that I called, like USAA, they don't even have an motorcycle insurance. They refer you to Progressive. And then when I called Progressive, they said that I had to have at least 3 years of being licensed in a motorcycle under my belt before they can insure my motorcycle. So I had to have, at a minimum, a license in a motorcycle for at least 3 years for them to give me insurance. I've called other insurances as well. It was pretty expensive. They were like giving me, I think it was like $60 a month for a Honda Grom that I can't even take on the highway or the freeway, you know. And so I think I called State Farm last. So I called State Farm, and State Farm was like, yeah, we can definitely give you guys insurance. We can definitely give you insurance. And then I was quoted for $48 a month. So it was pretty good. And then when I got my Ninja 650, I called back State Farm again. I said, hey, I have a vehicle to add, or I have a motorcycle to add, you know, on my insurance policy with you guys, and it's a Ninja 650. And they quoted me $182 a month for the Ninja 650 alone. I was like, man, that is insane. And then another factor is that I'm new to riding a motorcycle. You know, I just got my license, so I guess they also take that into account with the pricing. But then I called State Farm this time. Oh no, not State Farm, Allstate. I called Allstate this time, and they were able to give me a much cheaper insurance rate, like $82 a month for my Ninja 650. I've been wanting to transfer my Grom to Allstate too, but I haven't had the time, or I just keep forgetting to do it. But yeah, that's how I got my insurance. So getting the driver's license, the insurance, the registration, it really didn't take that long. So for the registration, for my registration, it only took me, I mean, I made an appointment, and as soon as the appointment day came, that was it. I got my registration. For the license though, it took a little bit longer, but not more than a month. So I took my MSF course. I brought that to the DMV. Oh, by the way, if you're in military and you take the MSF course, for example, here in Fort Irwin, California, they cannot endorse you. They cannot give you that endorsement to the DMV to skip the road test. My wife just called, and I missed the exit to go to Chipotle. So I'm gonna turn around so I can go to Chipotle. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, here we go. But like I was saying earlier, if you're taking the MSF course on base, if you're a military folk, it doesn't count because they don't honor the MSF course on base, and so they cannot endorse you to skip the road test for the motorcycle road test. So just keep that in mind. And it's not mandatory to take the MSF course anyway, but I highly recommend it, because you'll learn a lot of things there. You'll learn how to ride, basically basic riding styles or basic riding techniques, how to turn, how to avoid, you know, dangers on the road, how to, basically a lot of stuff, mostly safety and traffic regulations here in California that you need to know anyway in the first place. So taking that MSF course is, I think, is very important, so that way when you actually go on the road, you'll be ready, you know. You know a lot more, rather than just trying to guess if it's okay to do, or is it illegal to do or not illegal to do. Like and subscribe, folks. If anything that you want me to talk about in the future, just put in a comment and I'll get to it. Thank you guys. Peace.